using this zone as a hunting ground. That means lots of pulse outs.
Sigma Minoris 33, eh? I fragging hate those things. Moving to ambush position. Kill the out! Go, Connor! Right!
What's up, everyone? Kaifus here with another guide for you today. We're going to be looking at a build I call the Operative. It's inspired by the Deathcore Krieg Grenadiers and uses a hit-and-run style of gameplay. Hopefully one day Fat Shark will add an actual hotshot for us to use, but for now we're going to be leaning on the Columbus Mark V infantry autogun as a stand-in. For our melee weapon, we're going to be using the Power Sword, but you can really use whatever melee weapon you want. Just make sure that it can kill carapace armor since we only have a limited supply of grenades, and our autogun is not going to have enough punch to deal with heavily armored targets. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and look at the talents, and then we'll go into the weapons and curios. So this is the talent tree. For those of you that just want to copy it and give it a shot, here you go. Feel free to pause the video and take a look. For those of you that want the explanation, here it is. So with every veteran build, we definitely want to have some form of toughness damage reduction. So we're going to be taking Close Order Drill, and then further down the tree, we're going to be taking this node for 10% toughness damage reduction. That's going to help keep us safe and help not break our toughness that often. And when we do break our toughness, we're just going to go invisible. To supplement that, we're taking Confirmed Kill for extra toughness on elite or specialist kills. Further down, we're going to be taking Crack Grenades to help us deal with those carapace threats or big packs of maulers or really whatever. They're fine grenades, even if I prefer frag grenades most of the time. Then we're going to be taking Agile Engagement with the 10% melee damage boost. I think in melee-focused guard builds, this is a very big boost to your damage output, being able to take these two nodes. I took them in my revolver guide, but I think they're more important here than they are with the revolver. Then we're taking Fire Team, because we have to, and Demolition Stockpile for a little bit of grenade regen. We're going to be taking the extra grenade from Grenadier. And then on Infiltrate, we're going to be taking Low Profile for the 90% reduced threat when we leave stealth. This really helps us get into position and stay there without getting, mobbed by a bunch of heretics. We're also going to be taking Surprise Attack for an additional 30% damage when we leave stealth, which is going to pair really nicely with Agile Engagement. Then we're going to be taking Tactical Awareness and Born Leader. Born Leader mostly because we have to, and Tactical Awareness because I think every veteran build needs to have this, with the exception of Executioner Stance. Executioner Stance, the cooldown starts as soon as you use it, so you can kind of keep it up for long enough that it's not on a very long cooldown. But for Shout builds and Infiltrate builds, I think this is pretty much mandatory. Then on the left side, we're going to be taking Precision Strikes, Determined for Suppression Immunity, Fully Loaded to offset the not having Scavenger. Superiority Complex for the extra base damage against elites with the toughness damage reduction node. We don't need the stamina as much as we did with the Revolver Guide because we're not taking Deadshot. Deadshot is a very good talent with the Columbus. We're just not running it in this build. But if you want to run it, feel free. It's a great talent. I will always endorse Deadshot. Then we take Marksman for more power after we've used our ability. We're really stacking all those modifiers. And because we had one spare point left over, we're taking Marksman's Focus. Marksman's Focus is just a nice little benefit to this build. It's not the focus of it. If you want to swap the point out for something else, feel free. I like the reload speed. And the damage boost is actually pretty significant when you're shooting a lot of enemies all at once. Now let's hop over and talk about the weapons and curios we'll be bringing for the operative build. For our melee weapon, like I said, we're taking the Mark 6 Power Sword. For perks, I like taking Flak and Carapace. Carapace really helps you deal with those crushers and maulers, especially when they come in big packs. Being able to two-shot them is very nice. For our blessings, we're going to be taking Rampage and Power Cycler. Rampage can really be swapped out for whatever you want, but Power Cycler is very important. Getting those 2 extra chained energized hits makes it so instead of just 1 swipe, you get 3. So 3 powered up strikes is always going to be better than 1. For our Columbus, we're going to be running Maniac and Flak damage. Flak because it's the most common armor type in the game, and we're going to be shooting a lot of things in the back, so having that extra damage boost stacked with our talents, it just adds up to be a lot. Maniac damage we take because our job is still to kill specials as quickly as possible. We are veterans after all. So having Maniac on your gun is almost always going to be a good thing. For the curios, I take 1 max health with toughness regen, stamina regen, and gunner resistance. I take gunner resistance on all 3 curios because if you're not running shout, having that damage resistance is really going to help you stay alive when there's like a hallway full of gunners or shotgunners or something. So yeah, I would take gunners on all of them, but then we take a toughness one and a max stamina curio. The max stamina can be swapped out for whatever you want. The toughness one, it does help you avoid getting killed by things like pox bursters or snipers, because most of our damage reduction, actually pretty much all of our damage reduction, is in toughness. So we go ahead and take at least 1. You can take 2 if you don't want to take the stamina. We do take the health because it will also help you from getting exploded by a poxburster or other things like that. Just having that little bit extra health will help you from going down more often. So now that we've taken a look at the talents, the weapons, and the curios, just want to give you a few tips and tricks. So the Columbus is very good with headshot damage. Let me give you a quick demonstration. As you can see, we can pretty much mow through all the specials and most of the elites as long as we're hitting them in the head. So this is going to be a great weapon for dealing with gunners, dealing with shotgunners, or, mowing down a charging pack of ragers. The Columbus is great at that. It is not great at killing carapace armor, but when we combine our ability use, our power sword, and our crack grenades, we kind of fill every need that we have. So one more thing with the Infiltrate. Going into Infiltrate will make you move faster. And since we have Raking Fire on our Columbus, we can kill things really quickly if we're shooting them in the back. So with that all out of the way, that's the build, that's the guide. Hope y'all have enjoyed. Stay tuned for more content. Like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Kaifus, out.